What's going on, everybody? Shalom. All right, so this is the video on pride. For some reason, feeling like I need to defend myself. I don't know why. All of a sudden feeling that, but not really feeling like too much like I need to defend myself. But I just kind of want to, put an input and second some things and just kind of like make awareness about me, because I am somebody that's known. So I just kind of want to clear the air about myself, before there will be some kind of direction or confusion about me and things come my way. I can see it coming early. So give me a minute. All right, so we're gonna talk about Nabal and Abigail. Okay, I left Shemuel 25. All right, or First Samuel. I'm coming out of the blue letter on this one. All right, so we'll just go into it and talk it through. We got some other scriptures to go to. And it says this: and there was a man in Maon whose possessions were in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was sharing the sheep in Carmel. Now the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding and of a beautiful countenance. But the man was churlish, and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb. And Doad heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep, and Doad sent out 10 young men, and Doad said to the young men, get you up to Carmel and go to Nabal and greet him in my name. And thus shall you say to him that lives in prosperity, peace be to you. Peace be both to you, and peace be to your house, and peace be to all that you have. And now I have heard that you have shearers. Now your shepherds which were with us, we hurt them not, neither was there anything missing to them, all the while they were in Carmel. Ask your young men, and they will show you wherefore. Let the young men find favor in your eyes. For we come in a good day. Give, I pray you, whatsoever comes to your hand, to your servants and to your son Doad. So, all right, so you see these men. Doad is sending men. He's running from Melech Shaul, or King Saul, as you say. So he's running from him. Shaul's trying to kill him for no reason. He has no evil in him. There's just this envy, which comes from what? Pride, and you don't want to humble down. So he's just going after his life. So while he's running for his life with his men, because he's being extra humble and stuff like that and being extra respectful, is why he's running. He's not running because he's afraid of Shaul. He's running because he's respectful of the king and the position and authority. So that's something to also take notice of. Like this whole time, Melech Doad, or King David, is running for his life, but not because he's actually afraid. It's because he's very respectful. I'm running because I'm respectful. I'm too respectful, so I'm running from you and shit. All right, so look, continuing on, verse 8. Oh no, wait. Verse 9 says, and when Doad's young men came, they spoke to Nabal according to all those words in the name of Doad, and ceased. And Nabal answered Doad's servants and said, who is Doad, and who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. So this is what he answered. So is that pride? Yeah, we could say that's pride, because we know the story that Doad used to work for him, and he did very good for him, and he needed some help. Now, this could be an argument, because Nabal could, make his stance. Like, put it in modern day times. Man, can you help me out, man? I used to, look out for you and help you and this, that, and the third. And then you can come out and say anything. Look, man, I ain't got that. You can say anything to push that person off, And that's pretty much what happened here. Somebody that Nabal knew, he basically acted like he didn't know him. Who is Doad, and who is the son of Jesse? Like, there be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. So that's how he felt. There be many that break away from his master. That's how you felt. Like Doad left you. You was his master. You were a master over him. He left you. That's an emotion to have, that you would feel like this, like your servants or whatever, or you're a master over them, and they break away from you and shit like that. Like they don't grow older or have to move on or something like that. That's a thought to think. And you probably wouldn't have thought that Nabal felt like that until he said it, or until you read it here, how he felt. Like, dang, there's be many servants nowadays that break away, every man from his master. So it could have been that he had some people that worked for him that just walked away from him, or ran away from him, or left him, didn't want to keep working for him. So he just felt some kind of way about that, you know? Something to take notice of. All right, however, then he says, shall I then, in verse 11, shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers, and give it to men whom I know not whence they be? I don't know where they coming from or who they are. So the wise young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those things. And the wise said to his men, gird you on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword, and the wise also girded on his sword. And there went up after the wise about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, the wise sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on him. Like, he just linked on their ass. Like, yo, fuck as you mean? I ain't giving my, he just linked on him. Verse 15, but the men were very good to us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversant with them when we were in the fields. Verse 16, they were a wall to us both by night and day, all the while we were with them keeping the sheep. Now therefore know and consider that you will do, know and consider what you will do. For evil is determined against our master and against all his household, for he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. So he knew, like, even though this man could be, however, we don't know the character of Nabal. If we had more information about the character of Nabal, we would know. And in order for him to have a wife, to have riches, to have workers, he had to be of some type of upstanding character to be able to do business. So you can't just be all out when people come across you, be evil. People just have to be keen and clever to know that you're a wicked person for real, but you're still upstanding in some kind of way to do business and be able to maintain and keep people, working and things like that. But we can see the evil in you, and people can catch on that. Like, people are detectives, Sherlock Holmes, Inspector Gadgets out here. So people can see you and see your evil, but you don't seem to be, on the surface or whatever the case, until, but we can see it. So that's why he said, like, yeah, man, he's talking to so-and-so, and he just linked on him and shit, railed on him, nah. So he told Abigail, because they might come and kill our ass. So be mindful what you might do. We know that your husband is, such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. Like, I don't want you to talk, people can't talk to you. You're too grown, everything type stuff, or nobody have a word to chime in type stuff. There are men out here like that, that won't, like, when you talk to them, or when you try to talk to them, they don't want to hear what you gotta say. You don't have anything to say. You just listen to them talk, like as if the Most High is like giving them everything to say. It's like, that's pride as well. When you can't talk to a man, or when you come to visit a man, you can't chime in or dialogue or give your 2 cents. You have nothing to say. Like prophecy, like back in the day, in these ancient times, the sages and prophets, whenever the spirit of the Most High would come down in the temple, they would prophesy one to another. So they would dialogue holy things towards each other. So you're talking about the Most High, right? You're talking about the Creator, but everybody has something to say, whether little or a lot. Everybody has something to say because the spirit of the Most High is moving around everyone. Now, when you come around men that don't want to, they don't like chime-ins and stuff like that, it's the way of them saying that the spirit of the Most High is not with you, but is with me, and that's pride. That's pride. There are some people out here that are like that. That needs to stop. You need to just basically do better analyzation and assessment of the people that are around you. Let people talk, and then say if they saying something stupid, you need to be quiet. Don't just like tell people to be quiet before they talk because you looked at them by appearance or the way they walked or some stupid shit. That's dumb. You don't do that. That's right. That's extreme pride. All right. So again, verse 18. Then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready dressed, skinned them and stuff, and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs, and laid them on donkeys. All right, asses, donkeys. Verse 19. And she said to her servants, go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. So Abigail was not being prideful. There are two different reactions to David or Dawad. One reaction is a prideful reaction. Real doing no fuck as you mean, get out of here. I'm not giving my stuff to you. As many servants that break away from their masters. That's the prideful response that you get. No help. It typically come from men to men. Typically it come from men. But Abigail, on the other hand, remembers Dawad. Oh, I remember. She remembers what he did. Women are softer to men. But also she remembered what he did, so she gets up and help. And she said to her servants, go on before me, behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband. You know what I'm saying? So it was not like she was about to commit adultery, but it was like, yo, just help him out, da-da-da-da. But she didn't tell her husband or whatever the case. So was she wrong for that? All right. Verse 20. And it was so, as she rode on the donkeys or the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, Dawad and his men came down against her, and she met them. And Dawad had said, surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow has in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained to him, and he has requited me evil for good. So yeah, you can do that. You can look out for people, work for men, you can help them out and stuff like that, and they could requite you evil for good, or they can do you harm for good, or act like what you did meant nothing, or you did nothing. People can easily do that when they have power and authority and things like that. It's easier for them to do that, but people still can do that nonetheless, as if you were just like, you meant nothing. All that you did meant nothing. You gave them no increase in their life or nothing like that. You didn't, all that. It can be like that, man. All over just probably how you felt. And how you felt was there are many servants that break away from their masters. That's how you feel. That was the key reason to why, Nabal felt like that towards Dawad. He felt like you ran away from me, or you walked away from me. I was your master. You're my servant. You're supposed to stay up under me all your existence and shit. And you're not supposed to grow up, get older, and advance, or whatever the case. You're not supposed to be like that. Of course, one day Dawad is going to be king. He's not king yet here, but he's anointed. He's going to be king. So then you didn't come back to Nabal, and he ends up dying. But still, he could have came back to Nabal like, dang, yo, you felt like how you felt towards me and shit like that. Yo, you ain't want to help me out and shit. And now you the king and shit. Stuff like that. So he feels like how Shaul feels. You're brown like us and shit. Like, you talk like us. You sound like us. You from the same block and hood like us and shit. Who are you to think that you better than us type shit? But you're anointed to be the king. Nobody feeling you and shit, though. So now you walking around, this, that, and the third. Nobody feeling you. That's how it is even in the hood. Nobody be feeling you and shit because you talk the same, walk the same, look the same. Fuck out of here. Nobody feeling you. That's how it be. But you really be someone. And it's hard for people to see when you have when you watch people growth process. It's hard for people to see your progression or see what you actually are, because they're so busy watching your growth process or watching what you're growing to be. They don't see what you actually are going towards. So they get stuck at some point in the past, and they just keep looking at you from that point as if you're not supposed to grow and learn or whatever. And so they just start talking from the point that they know you from. So that's where pride and stuff comes in from, and things like that. It can come in from that too, premeditated thoughts and feelings and emotions about people, analyzing, assessing, sizing people up and stuff like that, and just like feeling like people, thinking people are better than you and things like that. That's a part of being proud or froward. That's froward. All right. Now, the word here is being forward. Okay. So he was being forward. He went to get men. So now he's talking to her. Again, he said, and Dawad has said, surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow has in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained to him, and he have requited me evil for good. So for his pride, Dawad didn't back down. He basically became forward. So that's men. Now, what some men expect is you to be like this little clown puppet guy, and when soon as you get aggressive or say something or step your foot down, you're supposed to cower down like a bitch or something like that. Regardless, we're all men at the end of the day, right? So it's just that in this case, this man was in authority over David at one point in his life, and so David comes back around for help, and he didn't help. He stomped his foot down, and David's about to come and kill this man. Or run up on this man and take something from him. Like, yo, the fuck, I did a lot of shit for you, yo, and da-da-da-da. Like, what I'm saying? Shit wasn't free and shit. So it's like all that I did for you type shit. And then we don't know how hard David could have even worked for this man. We don't know, like, the details. If we knew the details, we probably were like, damn, yeah, I would have put my weapons on too. But if you'd have heard the details, that's what we missing. But from here, it's like, dang, was it that serious? The why did you gonna put your weapons on and shit? So you could have said, the why's being prideful here. You know, you might misunderstand it and say he's being prideful, but he's just being forward. No, I'm just gonna be forward. Come on, let's go forward and see what he talking about. Like, why he feeling like that and shit. Why you say that to y'all? I'll see if he say that to my face and shit. And if it's a problem, we have to put weapons. Like, I didn't expect them to feel like that about me. So then you put your weapons on with your men and you go forward. Your few little bit of men, while he run the whole, got this whole shit going on. So whatever the case, that's how he felt. All right, and he requited me evil for good. So he's being forward to his wife. I'm not no clown or nothing like that. I'm about to go holler at him. What's going on? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, this man being froward as shit, yo. So, verse 22, so and more also do Elohim unto the enemies of the wad, if I leave all that pertains to him by the morning light, any that pisses against the wall. So, that's what he's saying. Like, yo, the fuck? So and more. So, let's say I read it from here, right? You never read the Bible, the Torah before. You never read the Torah before at all. And this is the first time you're learning or whatever, you're new to the class, and I just start from 22 or 20, 21 and 20. No, I just start from 22 and say, so and more also do Elohim to the enemies of the wad, if I leave of all that pertain to him by the morning light, any that pisses against the wall. And when Abigail saw the wad, she hasted and lighted off the donkey and fell before the wad on her face and bowed herself to the ground. So if you didn't know anything about Dawad, never heard a story about him before, you would think like, damn, why this man feel like this? Yo, they about to kill a man into anything that piss against the wall. You would think he's being prideful, not knowing the details. But because you know the details already, you know the Bible left and right. But I'm talking about new people, they would not know this fact. You would have to read the whole situation to understand what's going on. Oh, he worked for him. So when he came back, he said, man, fuck out my face and shit. I'm not going to give you none of my food and shit. So then he popped up like, oh, all right, if I leave anything that pisses against the wall and shit, I looked out for you and shit. It's like, damn, but was it that serious? People going to be thinking like that. Was it that serious though? What he really do for him and shit that he feeling like? You going to be like that. You know, what's going on? Why you even asking him for help and shit? So it's going to be like that. You don't even know why you asking him for help. It's stuff like that until you read all the way up into 22. All right. And so verse 24, and fell at his feet and said upon me, my Lord, upon me, let this iniquity be. And let your handmaid, I pray you, speak in your audience. And hear the words of your handmaid. So here it is. She said it was iniquity. So it must have been an evil thing or an iniquitous thing, a wicked thing for him to feel like how he felt about Dawad. Maybe he didn't, maybe he owed Dawad some money. Maybe he never paid Dawad or something like that. Like, yo, you owe me, you know what I'm saying? You got me later. Like, yeah, I got you later, man. You good? I got you. Like, thanks for, could have been he just taking being humble and shit and just worked for this man, didn't get paid, didn't get anything for it or whatever the case. A bunch of promises that's not fulfilled and shit like that. But then he comes back around and come to holler at him, send some people, and he's like feeling some kind of way and shit. So Abigail knows. She knows the details. So she's like, sorry, about this iniquity. And she said, upon me, let this iniquity be. Like, don't kill him and shit. Don't just put it on me and shit. Because you gonna kill him, I ain't gonna have nowhere to go. It's like that type of thing. I ain't gonna have nowhere to go. I ain't gonna have nothing to eat type shit. It's gonna be all that. So she's putting it on herself. So here as we're reading, we're understanding, not only was Nabal being prideful, but it was his wickedness. It was wicked towards David for him to be prideful like that. And his wife understood that. So you learn through the wife how prideful Nabal could have possibly was really being. But if you hear it from Nabal, it will sound like, damn, right, get the fuck out of here. I'm not about to give my stuff. Like, there's a lot of people that break away from their masters and shit, man. I'm not about to give you my food and shit. So the people that's with him could have been like, yeah, you right, get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, you left and shit. You don't work for the man no more. You just left him and shit. You let him talk. You let Nabal do all the fucking talking, because he's in charge. You gonna do all the talking and you gonna convince people. The more talking he do, the more convincing he's gonna do. And people be like, yeah, you right. Yeah, you right. But Abigail, you hear the story from Abigail, oh, shit. Oh, for real? Oh, okay. Damn, the fuck? That's disrespectful as shit. Here, and then she bringing them food and stuff. Because she knew it was iniquity upon her. Probably they never paid them before. They owed them some money or some shit. You don't even know the details. But you be just listening to one side, in the court and don't understand what's going on, and then you be quick to feel emotions and shit or side with people. All right. But another way pride comes is not knowing people, like belittlement. We're gonna go into that. Actually, let's go into that now. We can stop right there. You get the point, right? All right. So, all right, we're gonna go to Matityahu. Wait a minute. Matai. It says Matai and some Matai and some of them. Some say Matityahu to give it that Matthew sound. But Matai or Matityahu, 21. Yeah, 21, I think. All right. No, not 21. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna bring up some points here. Some people would be prideful from like they just be testy and contentious, and that comes from like belittlement and things like that, or just feeling some kind of way about you, or just not knowing you. Like a lot of times people could say, like let's say I'm a rabbi, right? And people say, well, titles don't always matter and stuff like you. I agree. Pharisee and Sadducees, the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection of the dead, and the Pharisees did believe in, or the Pharisees did believe in the resurrection of the dead. It could be counted as them being prideful, but was it? Or was it just differences of seeing things? So that's something to understand too. Why are there two sects of people? So it could have been that they just see this one little matter differently, but they are not prideful people. They just see something differently. So that's very, very clear with the Pharisees and Sadducees, which is my situation with a lot of brothers. We just don't see eye to eye on something, but I'm not a prideful person. You just think that because I was forward. You thought I was forward. I was just being forward, and you just felt like you was being challenged, which you were, because I just didn't agree with something. So yeah, challenging someone or disagreeing with someone is not always being prideful either, because with the Pharisees and Sadducees, there could have been some older than others and some younger than others, and it could have been considered if someone was older and talk to a younger that he was being prideful and not just wanting to listen, and I just know more than you and you just need to humble down type shit. It could have been that, or it just could have been, we the Sadducees over here because we all don't agree the way and so now you got people to back you up, and so now that you got people to back you up, you're not seeming prideful. It's now looking like, there's just a difference of difference of way they seeing things. It's seen at clearly how it is. So now you start looking at the person more closely, but people could be testy and stuff like that and contentious to try to like provoke you to make you seem like you're being prideful when you're not prideful. They just want to trigger you, and that's evil as shit to trigger someone. And this is what we're gonna go into on this one. Then we'll jump to another one about Abraham. All right, so tribute to Caesar. So we're gonna go all the way down. Let's just go through it. All right, so verse 15, Matityahu or Matai, Matthew chapter 22, starting at 15. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. See what I'm saying? So you feel some kind of way already about this man. You think he being prideful. You don't agree with a lot of the things he says. Some of the things you do agree with, so you can't pin him. It's just like not pride on his part. He's just chilling doing him. He just say some very forward things, some things that's real strong and hard, or whatever the case. And you being a man also don't like the way that came forward because you got cut up or you got hit up, to the point. And now you're like, you now looking only, you taking counsel with other people and brothers and stuff, how you might entangle this man in his talk. You want to entangle him in his talk? Why you want to entangle him in his talk? Because if you can make him seem to not be wise, or would he say something make him seem dumb, or he don't know what he's saying, instantly you're going to try to write him off as being prideful. Like one of the Rabbim has like stump the rabbi. That's all it be about. People just want to stump you to be like, so you prideful, man. You full of pride. You need to humble down and stuff. You're not always right about everything. That's all people want to say, because you right all the time. But when you say something, you just want to say you're not right all the time. You need to humble down. That word, humble down, and not right all the time. You just want to say certain things to humble the person, because you humbled them at some point and you check them. So they want to check you back instead of, take what the Most High said. So it's pride boiling in them Now they want to entangle you in your talk to try to like make you like to try to see if you're prideful or not, because you never can be checked and shit. Why you can't ever check the Savior? What's going on? Can't check this man for shit. Let's go and try and entangle this man in this talk. See if we can check his ass. Because you already, so now you're full of pride. Now you evil. Now you want to be contentious and testy. So that's another thing that comes with pride, contentions and testiness. Verse 16, and they sent out to him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that you are true and teach the way of Elohim in truth. Neither care you for any man, for you regard not the person of men. So that could have been funny. Like, we know that you don't care for any man. You don't care what nobody's saying. You don't care. You got no respect of person and stuff. You'll give it to anybody evenly, equally. Like, you look at people's faces and just say whatever you need to say that the Most High is saying. You don't, you're not caring about titles and shit like that. Not really. All right, so verse 17. Tell us, therefore, what think you? Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? But Yahushua perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt you me, you hypocrites? So he already knew, why is y'all coming to try to like mess with me and shit? Like, I'm not supposed to know you trying to fuck me up or entangle me in my talk and shit. So the first thing he said was like, they acting all calm, being phony and fake and shit, acting like they really got real questions and shit. But he's like, why, like, the fuck is y'all even talking about? Like, what is y'all, like, why are you trying me and shit? So verse 19, show me the tribute money. And they brought to him a penny, or a drachma, whatever it was. And he said to them, whose is the image and superscription? And they said to him, Caesar's. Then said he to them, render therefore to Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. Like, okay, the money belongs to Caesar, but you don't. Okay, you don't belong to Caesar. The money do. So give that man his money if you work or whatever the case, and then, go to God. You don't belong to him. You belong to the Most High. The money belongs to him, not you. So why you tripping? Stop acting like you bound by this man Caesar and shit because of the fucking money and shit. Oh man, taxes and shit and this, and he got money. What? Fuck that nigga. Like, this money and shit, it belong to him, not you, my nigga. Fuck that shit. Man, stand up for some shit, like fighting shit. Who gives a fuck? Paying taxes? Fuck taxes, my nigga. You don't belong to taxes. Taxes belong to taxes and shit. All right, 22. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left them and went their way. Like, damn, you right. The money belongs to money, nigga. Not, money belongs to that. It's like money belongs to money, not me and shit. All right, next, verse 23. All right, the same day came to him the Sadducees. All right, the same day. Them niggas is not, it's whether you a Pharisee or a Sadducee, them niggas just don't agree with this one nigga because they don't see eye to eye on the resurrection and not the resurrection. But he be saying some things they just be like feeling some kind of way about, like, but the way he talk is so on point that they gotta keep trying to try him and shit. You can't just outright say he wrong or he off. You can't just outright say he off. So you gotta be trying to entangle him in this talk. So after these people come, the Sadducees come the same day to try to entangle this man in his talk, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master Moses, Masha. Sorry, I think the Sadducees, the Sadducees, don't believe in resurrection. The Pharisee believe in resurrection, and Reb Shaul was a Pharisee. Yeah, so the Sadducees, they don't believe in the resurrection, so they come up and ask a question about the resurrection because they always quarreling with the Pharisee and things like that. So saying, Master, Masha said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed to his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife to his brother. All right, so that's the Levirate law. Okay, your dead brother, your brother died, and so now you have to marry his wife, or whatever the case, to bring forth children for his name, or whatever the case. So that's the Levirate marriage. But then it says, likewise, the second also, and the third unto the 7th. For all of these men died. Okay, it's probably the story of Tobit or something like that. Whatever the case. So all of these men died. And last of all, the woman died. So all of this, and then the woman died also, or whatever. And therefore, the 20th, therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7th? For they, give me a minute. It said, therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7th? For they all had her. Yahweh Shah, give me a minute again. So again, therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7th? For they all had her. All right, so that kind of stopped me in my thought. I had to stop for a second. Now they're talking about something about the resurrection and the levirate marriage, so they're confused on this matter, and they're like, well, if the first had her, then the second, and all the way to the seventh, and then she died also, when the resurrection comes, whose wife shall she be and shit? For they all had her. And that could kind of twist you up. So verse 29, Yahweh shall answer and said to them, you do err not knowing the Torah, nor the power of the Most High Yah. So what's this meaning by the Torah and the power of the Most High Yah? The power of the Most High Yah meaning in the sense that the Most High is confused to not know who belongs to who before they was born. He know and remember everything before you came to earth. So it's like he's very orderly. He know where people go, where people belong, what places they belong in. It's not like he's a human to not know who people are or where people belong. He knows and remembers everything. So he said, you do err not knowing the Torah. So you just don't understand. So verse 30 he said, for in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of Elohim in heaven. So, okay, what are the angels of Elohim like in heaven? If you know what angels are like, they're masculine and feminine in one body. So you'll go back to where you belong. You go back to who you came from. A lot of the stuff that we doing on earth is like puppet work. It's not necessarily that we are just like down here, like the way people thinking or whatever. You could just be wireless. You could be puppeting yourself. You're just going through a moment. You're going through emotion like a video game. And when the game is over, you're still who you are. You're still the angel that you are. On earth, you could be a human all day. But in heaven, you could be an angel, a winged one or something like that. And you just was puppeting yourself. You never departed from who you were. You just had to play this little game called Game of Life. It's like a game of life or a game of house. You just playing a game and shit, but it's a real game. So you got to do it right and stuff like that. So you got to get married. You got to this, that, and the third. So in the resurrection, you already was where you supposed to be. You already where you're supposed to be, like the angels. Angels are, like I said, masculine and feminine in one body. So that's what I've been telling people, like me and my sister Kylie, we're one entity together, almost like one flesh. We're one entity together. So it's the male part and the female part together as one winged one. We always going to be together. But on earth, she's living her life doing this, getting smashed out by random ass men and shit, getting pregnant and shit, doing whatever the fuck. And just, drinking Sprinter juices and shit, and I'm jealous of shit. But she over there living her life, and I'm over here homeless as shit in the gutter and shit. She a billionaire. I'm a homeless ass bum. But in heaven, we are still one being. We're not divided from each other. So when we physically die, we'll still be together as we always was. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're just not knowing how things work, between heaven and earth and things like that. It's just something that you don't understand. So it's a heavenly understanding you need along with the scriptures, something that you're not understanding. So he said, for in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage. You are like an angel. You already belong where you belong and shit. You never divided from yourself. You just came to earth and did some shit. So in the resurrection, you don't need to get married or given in marriage. You're already one, if you know what angels are like, you're already with the entity that you belong to. Verse 31. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have you not read that which was spoken to you by Elohim, saying, I am Elohim of Abraham and of the Elohim of Isaac. Give me a minute. So the verse 32, I am the Elohim of Abraham and the Elohim of Yitzhak and the Elohim of Yaakov. Elohim is not the Elohim of the dead, but of the living. All right. But when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at this doctrine. Like, meaning when people die, they're not really dead. Like, you talking about people supposed to resurrect and shit. Nigga, ain't nobody dead. Like, when you talking about the Elohim of Abraham, the Most High is not dead. You thinking that they died, death got them, they in Sheol, they just dead and shit. No, they're alive still in heaven doing stuff. Gotta go other places, other meta worlds and stuff like that. They living and shit. You just had to pass by on earth for a second, do some shit. You leave, now you gone, da-da-da-da, whatever the case. Ain't nobody dead for real. So why is you thinking people actually dead when they die? You looking at the flesh so hard that you think that people just, that's the end of their life. They just dead. How you forget that people, if you talking about the Most High coming back and he's the Most High of Abraham and them, why you keep saying the God of Abraham if people die? If there's no resurrection. Why is he still the God of the day? He's not the God of the day. He's God of the living. These people still living. Abraham is still with the Elohim. He's still with the Most High and stuff like that. Like Chanok, he went, where he go, where he go and shit. He translated, he gone and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then the flood happened. He just translated, he gone. He's the Elohim of the living, my nigga. So when you actually die, you just get translated. Like Chanok, And the same thing with Elia. Or was it Elisha? Elisha. His dead bones, yeah, his bones was dead, but it brought a man back to life. So it's possible that, you know what I'm saying, like that's one point that you say, like, a man, but he was still dead though, right? Like the Valley of Dry Bones. They was dead, but they came back. So what are you trying to say? You know all of this already. So why is you talking about there's no resurrection of the dead and stuff like that, and you tripping and shit? Why is you even still serving the Most High if you're going to die one day and never serve him again? If there's no resurrection, you just dead. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not really resurrection as you're thinking. It's just translation. You go from one point to the next point, and you be like the angels in heaven. You thinking resurrection and shit, like earth gonna be here forever and shit. No, nigga, this shit gonna go away. There's gonna be some higher stuff that we doing. Some higher metaphysical stuff that we doing. The physical earth gonna go. It's dying right now. The body, it wounds itself or it gets wounded, but it heals. Okay, you got a cut. Put a Band-Aid on it, it heals. Put some Neosporin, whatever on it, it heals. But then you gotta die. Like right after you put the Band-Aid on your cut, you got hit by a car and you died and shit. So even though you get hurt, it's wintertime, summertime and stuff, you die, but you still gotta go. But at the same time, you just drop in the body and you go from this point to the metaphysical point. It's like saying the sun. If the sun cut off, did it really die or did it go somewhere? You know, so it's like energy is energy, my nigga. Energy doesn't really die. It just go somewhere and translate somewhere else. So that's how you looking at it. You're looking at it wrong. You know? So yeah, y'all just don't know the scriptures. It's like everything is orderly like how the angels are. Like angels are like male and female in one body. How can you be a male and a female in one body, one entity? You're a male and female together in one being called an angel. So how would you know what I'm saying? You got two faces and shit. A male face and a female face. Two voices, two thoughts, two minds, two people in one body, one entity. But so are your feathers and your wings, and every part of you can be pieces like entities. You could take a feather of your wing and they come to earth and live. It's not the same as you understanding. The power of the Most High is what you not understanding. Y'all not seeing nothing. You're not understanding what heaven is like for you to be just putting everything in a human category and a human understanding. You know, so some of these men, it could have been like all 7 of these men. One of these men could have been the angel, and the 6 of the other men could have been his feathers. 6 of his feathers. And then they all was with this woman, and the woman could have just been his daughter or been his wife. And so on earth, it played out as the husband died, and now she's with her children, and she married her children, you know, whatever the case. If you're looking at it from the heaven standpoint, she's married her husband, but he died, went back into the body, went back into the angel body, went back into the house. Okay, the rest. She went back into the rest, the house. And then now she's down here still alive with the rest of the children. But on earth, they're grown men. So she married them and shit. And then they died too, went back in the house. They went back to the feather position that they were supposed to be in, or whatever the case. And then she died and went back into the body. And so now that male, female, that angel is now a complete entity, male and female. Now they can fly off and do what other work they need to do, because they did what they needed to do on earth. On earth, it just looked funny. It looked like you just married all these men and shit, but you're not knowing how things work in heaven, and how angels, like how it is with the angels and things. It's not the same, yo. It's not the same. You'll fuck your head up trying to really put it together. You don't know really who's who down here like that. Not really. Like, that's like saying the Savior. He's the Son of the Most High. What is he doing on earth and shit? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, things are not really understood the way it need to be understood all the time. So when he called people daughter a lot of times, it could have been that they just live in his soul house. He's the King of Kings, right? But he's a house. So these women that he called daughter with a capital D could have just lived in his house, and he took care of them before they came to earth. He was always taking care of them. Now that they're on earth, they live in this human life. Then they go back, you know, daughter, you know, you belong in my house type of thing. I feed you. I take care of you. You're my daughter type of thing. But he never had any physical children as we understand it, right? I'm not going to give you those gems, though. But as we understand it by the writings, he never had children, right? So how could you call some woman your daughter and really mean that? Why didn't you say sister, you know? So something to look at. You never know who's who. Like Shekinah Glory could have puppets down here. You don't even know. You know what I'm saying? You think it's a little girl, it's a whole grown woman and shit. Shekinah Glory. A lot, like even the Savior. You thought he was a little boy, but he was the Son of the Most High Yah. Not no regular human and shit. What are you talking about? So stuff like that, you're not understanding. Who's who, the power of the Most High, how things are even working out here. You're just looking at the basics of the writings of the scriptures and not understanding the power that goes behind it. You're not seeing anything. The Most High's not revealing anything to you because y'all sound confused still on this. So, whatever the case, when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. So here it is. They called it a doctrine, so they could still have their differences and shit. So it's a doctrine. And they were just still astonished, like, dang, you're trying to stump this man. You're trying to say this man is full of pride. Why? Because you're saying that what he know, I don't know. Or what I know, how could he possibly know more than me, type of thing. And so you're not going to feel like this man is like someone unless he can stump you or some shit. Or say some shit that you don't understand or whatever the case. And that's stupid to put it on that. Because Melech the White was the king, and he didn't know as much as a lot of the Rebbeim and stuff like that. He didn't know as much as the priests and Kohanim and stuff. He had to learn as he was going. Was he being proud for being the king? Was he out of order? No, you still had to submit yourself to the king. So whether you knew or did not know something, it does not mean that you're prideful. You're just being in the position of the king that you're supposed to be in. It's just that you don't see the Savior with a crown on his head. He don't have a scepter. He's not on a throne on earth. He don't have a bunch of people. He's not just, he's not set up and looking like a king on earth where you can just like, yeah, you can tell he the king. He rich as shit, got the throne up. You want to see some physical shit to prove that this person is a king. He was the king of kings, but he was poor and shit. But nigga, the fuck? So let's continue on. I have to go into my other phone to get this one. I should have yeah, give me a minute. All right, so pseudepigrapher, but we in the book of Legends of the Yehudim, under the chapter of Abraham. The title is In the Fiery Furnace. All right, so and this is one of the subparagraphs, and it says Abraham was the superior, not only of the pious impious king Nimrod and his attendants, but also of the pious men of his time. Noah, Shem, Eber, and Asher. Noah gave himself no concern whatsoever in the matter of spreading the pure faith in Elohim. He took an interest in planting his vineyard. So Noah left off teaching and stuff and just focused on planting a vineyard and growing wine and making wine and stuff like that, and was immersed in material pleasures. So Noah, even though he was in the school and he taught with Shem the ways of the Most High, he left off teaching and made a vineyard. And so Abraham was at the school of Shem and Noah, but he, time passed and they just did their own thing. Shem and Eber kept in hiding, and as for Asher, he said, "How can I live among such sinners?" All right, so Shem and Eber, they kept in hiding. Asher, he said, "How can I live among such sinners?" And departed out of the land. The only one who remained unshaken was Abraham. So I will not forsake Elohim, he said, and therefore Elohim did not forsake him, who had hearkened neither to his father nor to his mother. So it wasn't a matter of when I said in a video that, the Most High is using me more than the other brothers and stuff like that. It wasn't saying in a prideful way or whatever the case, which is they debating on. I guess probably wondering if I knew the scripture or not, or whatever they might have been thinking. Was I saying that out of pride or not saying that out of pride, depending on what I knew or not knew. Even if I didn't know this, I still could have said that not out of pride. But because I did know this, it still was Abraham was the superior, not only of the impious king Nimrod and not only of the impious king Nimrod and his attendants, but also of the pious men of his time. He was superior to them. The Most High was using them more because these men, Noah went to go make a vineyard. Eber and Asher, they went in hiding and shit. They stayed hiding or whatever the case. Shem and Eber, they kept in hiding. And as for Asher, he said, "How can I live among such sinners?" and walked away. You know what I'm saying? People was like, man, these niggas wicked out here. I'm leaving. So that's something to take notice of. And this is about Abraham or whatever the case when he was at the school of Shem and Noah. And he was learning Noahide laws and stuff like that. And the Torah from Noah. He was in school for a long time. So that's something to take notice of. Just because somebody might say that the Most High is with them more than someone else, It might not be pride. It could just be that I know that for sure because I know y'all just in hiding, y'all chilling, y'all laid back. The Most High don't need to put more energy forward to help y'all or whatever the case. He's just more with the man that didn't shake or whatever because he out here shaking and baking with the sinner, so he got to put more energy to it. But y'all, you don't got to put too much energy to because y'all can chill and relax. Ain't nothing really he got to be knocking no sin or no evil down about. So please understand. So you see, back here. So you see, I had to cut myself. So as you see, I didn't have to cut myself, but I just, stopped right there. I said my point already. As you can see, Abraham, was not really called superior to all of his peers and things like that, and the impious king Nimrod, meaning he was unholy. He was superior to Nimrod, and he was superior to all of the holy men before him. That was during the time before the flood. Noah, Shem, Eber, Asher. He was more superior to them, but he came later. He was younger than everybody, but he was more superior because he was out there doing the work of the Most High, and he said, I will not forsake the Most High. Okay, I will not forsake Elohim, and Elohim did not forsake him. So even though he was out there in the midst of the sinners in the fiery furnace and shit, running out there doing all kind of shit, he's fighting against Sodom and Gomorrah at one point and shit. He's out there in the midst of the craziness, and the Most High's with him stronger. Not to say because he was really technically holier, but because they decided to stay in hiding or do other stuff. Abraham said, no, I'm staying with the Most High. I'm going to teach. I'm going to spread the word of the Most High regardless. And the Most High just guided him and was with him more. So it made him superior by that. Everybody just sitting back chilling, So that's something to think about. Brothers do say things like, go on the highways and byways. That's fine. You want to stand on the corner and be teaching and stuff like that. But was you like Abraham? Was you teaching like you always do on the side of the corner? Or are you really like Abraham going out there in the midst of this, in the midst of the whole mess and stuff like that? Out there, you right in the Hollywood and shit, in the mainstream industry and shit, acting and shit, doing shit like that. But you teaching the way of the Most High. And the Most High's with you because you ain't forsaking the Most High. The Most High's not going to forsake you or whatever the case. And now you fighting and shit. And this, that, and the third, and the Most High with you. It's just looking funny to everybody else because you out there. How the fuck this man get thrown in the fiery furnace and shit? What you out there doing? Y'all on the street. Y'all on the side of the street corners and shit, just talking and shit. Teaching the people that walk by and shit that just was walking by. Abraham in the fiery furnace and shit. And he not burning up. What the fuck? How the fuck you get in the fiery furnace, my nigga? What the fuck is going on? So that's what I'm saying. I ain't trying to go out there. Them niggas crazy. That's what I'm saying. And that's what you going to say. I ain't going out there. Them niggas crazy. But you supposed to be on the highways and byways already. On the street preaching. Now, nobody got nothing against that. Nobody saying anything against that. But I'm just saying. The Most High was with Abraham more. Because he was in the midst of all of the bullshit. And that's what I was saying. I did a lot of stuff in my life, yo. So I know that the Most High is with me more than other brothers. I just know that. By looking at him. I can just tell that the Most High is with me more. Not because how much you know or how much I don't know. Or how much I know or how much you don't know. Because I'm out here. Y'all safe as shit. That's how I'm analyzing it. Y'all extra safe, and comfortable. Which I want to be extra safe and comfortable. I'm tired of sacrifice. I'm tired of being out here. But at the same time, it's like, y'all get the whole Shabbat. Y'all get to have feasts on Shabbat. Y'all get to chop it up, talk about all of the, the Torah and all that. Y'all get to hold the feasts and stuff. Got your tents up and stuff. Y'all ready for the Pesach coming around. I'm homeless as shit on the ground and shit, doing some sacrificial work and shit. For the Most High. Not even gonna be able to hold the Pesach. I ain't gonna have one piece of unleavened bread to eat and shit. The kosher market gonna be closed and shit. So it's like, what the fuck? How the fuck I'm gonna get through? So it's something to think about. It's like, what am I gonna eat for the Pesach? Cause ain't no lamb. I ain't got no stove and I ain't got nothing to cook no lamb with. I ain't got nowhere to store no unleavened bread, or where I'm gonna get unleavened bread at and store that shit up is gonna leaven up and shit. It's like, what I'm saying? So it's like, what am I gonna do really? I can't make natural unleavened bread because I ain't got no house to make no bread and shit. So it's gonna be like I'm borderline breaking the Pesach and shit. But I'm gonna eat some ramen noodles and shit. You got yeast in that too, right? The fuck? So I don't know what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna eat? I'm gonna have to ride on the special case. Well, it do say, don't eat any bread with yeast or any bread that's unleavened. But it didn't, and it said don't have anything in your house with leaven in it. I don't know. Is it talking about bread or is it talking about anything and shit? Because if I drunk wine, that's fermented. That could have been, so it could have been, like, what is that really saying? So it's like I could pull many different cards just to try to survive and eat each day during the Pesach and shit. And then people waiting to be like, yeah, he gonna be sinning on the Pesach because he ain't got nowhere to go. He ain't gonna have nowhere to put unleavened bread at. They looking for every avenue early to get me on Pesach and unleavened bread at the feast. Because I'm homeless. I can't really do it. With the homeless people, you gotta understand. You gotta like special case homeless people. Like me, you gotta special case us because you don't have much. Y'all not y'all unless you gonna come and pull a brother up and I'm gonna hold Pesach and the unleavened bread with y'all. We gonna be eating every day. You know, no, y'all gonna do it in the privacy of your homes. And it's not gonna be no big old feast and stuff like that. And y'all be always, I heard that y'all be overcharging and shit like that for the Pesach feast and stuff. Brothers be like wanting to come to the certain feasts and stuff at events and stuff. Y'all be overcharging for tickets and shit. And then the lamb don't be big enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like you have your Pesach meal, then you have your actual meal. The meal don't be enough and shit. Like y'all be like, what the fuck? So I don't know, yo. I see y'all trying to fuck me up early. But what can you say in my position? You just want to look for a reason that the Most High is not with me. You just want to say the Most High is not with me, which is the reason why I'm out here suffering. I'm doing this sacrificial work because the Most High is with me. There's people out there with good hearts that's looking for the Most High that want time. I'm doing this for the children. You talking about children like Dream Kardashian. She said, "Our Father who art in heaven." I came right out here to help her, sacrifice for her. The children, my nigga. What are you doing? You see a little girl named Dream Kardashian say, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name," begging for help and shit, knowing she in the industry, she trapped the fuck up. She saying, "Our Father who art in heaven." Are you here? Are you the one that the Most High can? I'm looking to and fro for someone strong I can be strong through and shit. I'm looking to and fro somebody I can use and shit. One of my servants, I got him the choir. You know, like dang. I'm like dang man. I just got it. I just got this apartment. I just got this Jeep. I was good. I was working. I was just eating my lamb slices, man. I'm trying to get my daughter back and stuff. The Most High, I need you, man. I need you, man. Your daughter good. She's with you. And you good. This is your daughter. You know, I need you to take care of somebody else's daughter. Like, look out for her. You know, she's calling on me. I need you. Yes, sir. Go out there. Would any of y'all do that? No, you'll be like, you crazy and this, that, and the third. The Most High ain't tell you that, but you read strange stuff in the Bible like that all the time. Go and marry a prostitute and shit. And so when you have children by her, it's not going to be your children for real. Go marry a hoe. The Most High did not tell you go marry a hoe, my nigga, because the Torah tells you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be saying strange stuff like that all the time in the Torah. But then the Most High tell me something like that. You just got to know that the Most High's with me for you to be like, dang, that's crazy. The Most High told you that. Otherwise, you're going to belittle me, think I'm full of pride, and the Most High's not with me. It's on some, it's like, my name is not Job. My name is not Job. But y'all acting like that. Or y'all not even acting like that. Like, keep contending with me. Like, it got to be this, it got to be that. Give me a minute. Everything, it got to be this, it got to be that. Everything except for the Most High is actually telling me to do this. I told y'all in the video, I'm doing this for Dream. I'm doing this for the children. You got Dream Kardashian, you got True Thompson, you got all of the little girls, you got Air, you got Tatum. So I'm trying to remember their names and stuff, the young ones. Now, Scott Disick, he has a Jewish background, so he knows the Torah. Well, whether he has a Torah-based background. So he can teach his children. Penelope and them, they're older, but he can teach them. He know the Most High. Now, when it comes to the younger children, they need covering. Your Scott is not going to probably be able to cover all of them like that. So I'm helping, you know, whatever the case. Because your daughter really praying. You don't see no celebrities praying on a camera, talking about some Our Father who art in heaven. You don't see that. You see the children was the first time I ever seen that. I never seen no celebrity at all with just a regular industry background. No biblical background praying in the camera. Also, I'm here for Danny and Dana. Dayla and Dayo. Danny, Dana, Daya. Sorry, Danny, Dana, Dayo, and Dayla. As well as Danella. So many D names, so I'll be twisted up. So Danella's the mother. Then you have Dayo. She's the oldest daughter. Then Dayla's the second oldest. Then Danny and Dana. All right, so those are all little girls, and they teach they teach the way of the Most High. They teach the Torah, and they out here in the industry teaching. They had a show with Kenan and Kel, or they had a show with Kenan, and the two little girls, Danny and Dana, was on that sitcom with Kenan. I forgot what it's called. It's something with Kenan or something like that. But it was a sitcom with Kenan or whatever. And give me a minute. So it was a sitcom with Kenan, and they were on it. So if you saw that show with Kenan, you knew those little girls, Danny and Dana. But I knew of them before they even had their first gig. I knew of them before they had their first gig, when they were just in the car doing scripture time. And they'll read scriptures and just do teachable moments, teachable lessons and stuff like that in the car and stuff like that. Then it went from that to Dana. Dana ended up getting she ended up playing in a Hallmark Christmas movie and shit. She was like, she playing in a touchable movie? They're like touchable moments and shit. It went from teachable moments to touchable moments. Hallmark movies are always touchable. It's like soap operas. Like whenever the girl says something, the man always want to touch her and shit. Like, but so-and-so. Like, it's always touchy. Like, you trying to touch her energy to make her change her mind or break. Like, the soft way of being aggressive is Hallmark movies. Like, these men be aggressive as shit, soft as shit. And he always touching on the women and shit. Every time she try to say something to get away from him, he be touching her and shit. You know, like, then he'll just hold her or grab her arm or grab her hand. It's always some touchy shit. You not trying to stop. It's all you see is them touching and shit. Hallmark movies and shit. Them little girly Hallmark movies be touchable movies. So Dana played in in one of those Christmas movies, and she was like, she said my parents split up from the Force or something like that. Like the Force, I was cracking up laughing. Like the Force, I don't know how I even watched that. My aunt was watching it, and I seen it. I'm like, oh, that's Dana or whatever. She got a little gig. She was like, yeah, my parents broke up from the Force. The Force. They had the Force or something like that. Like, oh, I know what she's saying. Like, they had to know what she's saying. They got forced or something. They got forced apart or something. Anyway, I was like, that's funny. So that's the first thing I seen her play in was that little Hallmark thing. And then I seen them doing other stuff. And then they ended up in they was on Steve Harvey, and they was doing the Kenan show, the sitcom with Kenan. But they are little girls that teach the Bible and quote scriptures and do little teachable moments and give like little lessons and stuff like that in the camera. Yeah, it could be a little bit hearty sounding and stuff like that. But what I'm looking at is they know enough enough that where I can help shift that character to a more chaste character. Like if I get in and help them understand the chasteness of what a woman is supposed to be, the modesty of what a woman is supposed to be, they know the scriptures already, and I can help shift them, or it's just going to make them fall farther away from the Most High because they know better by knowing the scriptures. So you take a chance, right? Because, damned if you do, damned if you don't, and, if you do, you get it. It's a win. So whatever the case, man, I just went in and helped and stuff. And I started off with just helping them out, and Danella used to do Instagram teaching things, and she had put her Cash App on there. And when I was doing cable, I was like, man, I got a lot of money, and what I'm saying, I ain't got nobody. I'm trying to get my daughter. My ex-wife don't want me to see my daughter. She just took my daughter from me and stuff. So I'm just watching them talk about the Bible. I'm like, shit, I'm getting fed. So I just started taking money, like giving them money and shit, just like Cash Apping them $50 here, money here and there. Dayla, she graduated or something like that, or her birthday or something like that, $35. I sent $35, like just to let them know, like, yo, you feeding me and shit. That's child support, not child support, but child support, CHOW. I'm getting fed the bread of life. So here, eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always deserve to eat. You always deserve to live and be taken care of and live a long, beautiful, peaceful life. Teaching the ways of the Most High and living the ways of the Most High. You always deserve that. So this, just put my little 2 cents in there. That's what I was doing. So I was there. And so, yeah, I'm there in California. I'm here. Also, there's other stuff like Sasha and Serena and shit, But they're not. Sasha she know the Bible to some degree, or she stands on the Bible as a foundation to some degree. But you don't know it enough to really to really teach it or really live it like that. She just kind of let you know that that's her support system is the Bible, if you're going to say any religious background. Serena, I don't know if she even have a religious background. She's like a hardcore army girl or something now. But still, they need a foundation, which is a Torah-based biblical foundation, somebody that can really teach it to them the right way it's supposed to be, and restore chastity and modesty and pious womanly character. You know, how a woman is to conduct herself in public with women and with men, to restore these things back to them so they, you know, and like I said, damned if you don't, and it's a win if you do, if you can make it, you know, convince them or whatever. So whatever the case, man, I just had to see all that. Sorry about the had to cut that to make the other video, to get the other scriptures and stuff. But that was from, like I said, the Legends of the Yehudim, under the title Abraham. The chapter is called Abraham, not chapter 1 or 2. Chapter Abraham, subchapter, in the fiery furnace, and I forgot which paragraph, but it's one of those paragraphs, and that's what it's talking about. You know, that the Most High was with Abraham more than he was with the others. Even though they were older and they knew more, they were more wise, more intelligent, they knew of the Most High more. You know, they were both before the flood. Noah, Shem, they were before the flood. Noah learned from Adam, and Shem learned from, you know, Noah, and probably Adam as well. And they got on the ark and all, they went through like 600 or something plus years old. And nigga, like, Noah is 600 plus years old. And nigga, you know what I'm saying? And he went away and made a vineyard. The Most High is like, okay, you're going to go and do a vineyard. Go in and do your vineyard thing. Go and do your vineyard thing. And I'm going to, you know, go over here, look at Shem. What's Shem doing? Shem was like, man, well, Shem, Eber. Like, man, I ain't got time for it. Like, man, I'm going to go in hiding, man. I don't want to deal with it. I'm going to go in hiding for real. Y'all going to go in hide? Yeah, I'm just stay in assembly and just hide and stay in assembly. We're just going to have our own little stuff to ourselves. We're going to go in hiding. All right, fine. Asher, what happened? Like, man, I'm not living amongst these wicked ass people for real. So no. So the Most High was like, all right, man, I can't use none of y'all. So Abraham, yeah, I'm right here. I'm never leaving you. You need me? Yeah, I need you to go out here and do this and do that. Da. Yeah, don't worry about the fiery furnace. I'm going to save your life and all that. So he is able to make himself strong through Abraham. You know, the Most High always, his eyes go to and fro. The eyes of the Most High Creator go to and fro on the earth looking for whom he can make himself strong through. So that's what it means by that, you know, who's going to stand for the hard stuff, the Torah, the things that the Torah tells you that's right to do, that people in America is like set on saying it's wrong to do. Like things about marriage, the age of marriage, the age that you can have sex and things. These things are hard to say because you're taught a Christian way about it. So the Most High, like, I'm going to be strong through you. Just tell them the truth. Tell them what I said. You can this, you can't. You can do this, you can do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. I don't even care. I need you to go to the gay community and be strong for me out there. And I got you. They going to try to fuck you up, but I got you and shit. You know, so, like, yes, sir. And you do. All because Dream was like, our Father who art in heaven. I was like, you said Father who art in earth? No, shit, I said Father who art in heaven. All right, I'm coming and shit. Because I know the Most High is with me. So you need an image. So the Most High was like, I need to use you. So I left my comfortable life. I just got comfortable. And I was already focused on trying to save money to get my daughter. And I came right out here for the Most High. But at the same time, my ex-wife wasn't trying to give me my daughter anyway. So the Most High was like, well, why she keep being a bitch? I'm going to deal with her later, her bitchy ass, and we're going to, you know, because she cut the shit out my ass, and she going to have to answer for this cut. So what we're going to do is go out here and do this in the meantime, and I'm going to deal with her little bitch ass and shit. All right, yes, sir, because she cut my ass. So you can't do that. You can't make vows with the Most High in marriage and then run away from the vow. You didn't just cut your husband, you cut the Most High too. Like, if you ever wanted to stab the Creator before, you just hate God and shit. You want to figure out how to, like, you pumping fists to the air and shit. You pumping your fist to the air, angry and shit. How can I hurt God? Get married to a holy man and run away from the marriage vows and break that man's heart so hard, you gonna fuck the Most High up too. Like, stab me up. What you do to me is what you do to the Most High. So stabbing me up or fucking me up is fucking the Most High up. But the thing is, the Most High is the Most High. You don't die. So he just get you back. Okay, I got you. I see. You just irritating the shit out of me. You making me mad. You making me uncomfortable, feeling some kind of way. Now I'm at to fuck you up later. Don't fuck with somebody that got your whole breath in his hands and shit. This nigga counted. You had 1 million breaths left, but now I'm gonna make sure you just get like 2 breaths left, and you just get like the last 2 breaths you got and shit. He counted your breaths and shit. Every time you fucking somebody up, damn, yo, I'm taking these breaths away from him. So you're just taking your breaths away. They say he's some powerful ass shit. So of course you ain't gonna really move him. Because he got your breaths in his hand. Like, yo, I got your breaths. You know what I'm saying? I will fuck up your inhales and exhales and shit. So I got your breaths in my hand, my nigga. All the breaths you's about to breathe. So I'm not really tripping that much. I'm counting them shits right now and shit. Death can see the number over your head, like when your due date is. The Most High is looking at the breaths that you got left and shit. Like, oh, she got this many breaths left and a half of a breath and shit. A quarter of a breath and shit. You know, because she's scoffing down that food. She not really breathing. So these are like, 1/3 of a breath and shit. So count these 1/3 up to a, like, okay, that's one, and then one and the one and the fourth. And all right, she done eating. So that calculates to like 4 breaths and a half and shit. All that eating and scoffing food down and shit. So you counting the half breaths and everything, my nigga. And counting the breaths of death and shit. Death is just standing right next to you and shit, breathing and shit. I'm counting his breaths. I'm counting your breaths and shit. I'm counting everybody's breaths and shit. And so the Most High is funny to the Most High that you would try to hurt him knowing he counting your breathing and shit. Even if you in hell, it's fiery as shit. Ain't no oxygen on that bitch. I'm counting this nigga's breaths and shit. They only got they got a 0.2% of oxygen down there. So 0.2% of oxygen, they're breathing. So I'm gonna count those two. Okay, they got like about 1 million breaths left and shit. Calculating that shit. You still breathing and shit, still living and tormenting people, fucking people up, still counting your breaths and shit. Yeah, how many breaths this person got left? Like everybody breathing and shit. So with that said, man, and shout out to David and Tamela, man, for the everybody breathing and shit. Bereavement, it's funny. Bereavement or breathing, it's funny. A good play. Everybody breathing and shit. All right. Yeah, but with that said, I'm gonna let it go, y'all. Shalom. I just wanted to let y'all know about pride. Pride is always bad, but you can be proud, in certain things, like standing for what's right. You can be proud in that, but pride is always wrong, And again, like I said, you can be froward or you can be forward. So you need to know people and the details about people's lives before you can say they're being prideful or being forward. Because you don't know what. Like I said, King, they coming at the Savior. If you didn't know the Savior, you could have been like them other brothers thinking he's being prideful when he could just be being forward. Oh, he's froward. No, I'm just forward, man. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just very forward. I'm not going to let you back me down. I really know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Why would I submit to you? You don't even know what you're talking about, And I'm the one teaching you, telling you what it is, So in that sense, yeah, why would I not be forward? But if you have something to say, yeah, I'm quiet and listening to you. And wisdom adds to wisdom. So it's just when you see the Savior, you always hearing about how he's telling somebody something and nobody can check him. But you're not hearing about how he could be just sitting down listening to somebody. Well, he did ask the Samaritan woman, I thirst and shit. I thirst. And she had she had nothing to say to him. She could not, what's the word? What's the word? Y'all know the word. She could not minister to him. He was looking for her to minister to him, give him something to drink and give him a good word. But she couldn't minister to him. She just was like, well, one is to come. And so like, dang, man, none of these women holy. Like, I roll up on a woman, wait for her to tell me some holy stuff. Just talk to me about the Bible. Tell me about something the Most High said. Anything. I'm talking like I don't know what to these people. They ain't got no life in them. Like, give me some water. Like, give me some fresh water, some life. My nigga thirsty as shit. I'm talking like a motherfucker. Ain't no women out here got no holiness in them that's teaching me something. More Jesus shit. Man, fuck that Jesus shit. Give me some fresh water. It's dirt in everybody water and shit. Get the dirt out your shit and teach me something. You know what I'm saying? It's like nothing. I ain't got nothing to say. That when the Messiah comes, he'll be the one that teaches everyone. Like, all right, so have you said, and I am he and shit, standing here. Just because you saying the Messiah is the one to come and he'll teach everybody don't mean I'm not going to be thirsty and shit, nigga. It's a recycling system. I'm giving you fresh water. You going to give me some water back. I'm on earth, my nigga. Sandals and toes in the ground. Where you at? Where the drinks at? Where the water at? Y'all at, my nigga? Like, the fuck is going on? Niggas thirsty as shit. She run off and shit. This nigga tripping. Run off. Oh, it's the Savior. I think I seen the one to come to save. It's crazy. This man thirsty as shit. They like, damn, they see him talking to the woman like, damn, I ain't never seen him talk to a woman before. This man thirsty as shit then. Like, yeah, that's he not gay and shit. He not gay. He really trying to holler at somebody. That she ain't got nothing for him. Ran off. Ain't got no water for that man. Another one that's not good and shit. Not on his level. Ain't even trying to be on his level. Like, you don't even have the same heart that he got. Like, his heart was, not my will be done, but your will be done. Let this cup pass from me, but not my will, but your will be done, Father. That's his heart. You don't even got that kind of heart. Even if you have a heart like that, I can work with you. I'm saying, because you could not know something, but your heart could be whatever the Most High desire. That's what I desire to do. And you really mean that in your heart. You like from whatever he teach, his instructions, his Torah, and that's what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but the Savior was like that. I'm like that. Most High Father, your desire be done, not mine. Is there any woman like that out here that really mean that? Like, she really feel like that? Or she just want to do what she want to do and shit? She don't want to do what the Most High want to do. So, yeah, of course you ain't going to have no fresh water. You going to run off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, when the Messiah comes, I'm he. So have you said, but I'm he that you was talking about. I'm this Messiah that's to come and shit. Where the water at? I don't mean I'm here, but you ain't got nothing for me. No water, nothing, nigga. So we can't even talk and shit. You gonna be in the kingdom of heaven just looking at me to just say everything. I'm talking to you, and you can't talk to me back and shit. Like, so you got anything? Oh, I just thought you was gonna be talking. No, my nigga, like, you in heaven, we all got something to say and shit. You in heaven just looking at everybody and shit. I'm just mad, glad to make it and shit. You ain't talking about nothing holy. It's crazy. So yeah, man, just something to say, something to understand. Yeah, I was always tested. It's kind of hard. It can be hard to tell if somebody's being prideful or just being proud, or somebody's being froward or just being forward, if you don't know the details about that person individually. So with me, that's all it really be. A bunch of people that don't know who I am should not be quick to feel like I'm being prideful if you never met me in person. We never dialogue, we never talk, but you quick to want to be like trying to analyze and assess me and shit. You trying to be prophetical and shit, trying to feel energy through the camera and shit. So you trying to move your dialogue or whatever the case, depending on the energy in the camera and shit, trying to find me and shit. But you never met me in person and shit. Like, I'm telling you, I met Aksamak. I met him. You know what I'm saying? When he was still a bail bondsman. He had his own company. I helped him with his bail bond company. I had a floppy disk. He had a floppy disk and a computer in his office. I made a whole Microsoft Access database system for his bail bond company and made a logo. Lock and key bail bond. I made the logo. I made the lettering. I made the letterhead. I made the database. Took all of the paperwork or whatever the case of the people that owed him money in a bail bond situation, and I basically put it all in the system. And what he said, put here and there, I worked for him actually. You know what I'm saying? And put it all together in the system. Gave him the floppy disk. And now your stuff is color-coded and everything. Color-coded by the price. Red means these people ain't paid. Gold means this. They good. Yellow means this. I made sure that I color-coded it and everything. So you can click on it. You can make a query report. And print out the query report about whatever you're looking for. All of these people. I need all of the people that owe me. Here it is. All the people that owe you. All of the people that paid. Here. All the people that paid. Click, click, click. All the people that paid. Bam. Man, print out the query, and then to put all the people that paid you, and then, you know, whatever, or all the people that owe you, all the people that owed you, and then how much together that these people owe you. Thousands of dollars, you know, in bail bond money, these people owe you and stuff like that. You know, so if you lose a piece of paper, you got it on a floppy disk. You know what I'm saying? And he needed that help, you know. Organize all of that paperwork, and then what new stuff was there, he's like put it on like the tab or whatever up against the wall. So I would put it there. So I was just working there. He didn't really pay me. I just had room and board. I slept in the office and shit. He gave me $20, you know, here and there. Like, yo, that's real work. Database entries, that's real work right there. But I still was like, I don't care. As long as I'm learning the ways of the Most High, I'm good. But like I said, when you have disagreements, they can be contentious still. You know, and you could be disrespectful. So, whereas though when you heard Dawad tended to the sheep, you could have felt like you don't know what he really did and shit. Like, he could have did some shit and not really got paid and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Doing a lot of work or whatever. And then you felt some kind of way about him later when he came back to you for help. You felt some kind of way and forgot what he did for you and shit. Like, man, there's a lot of people that serve and slip away from their masters and shit. You feeling some kind of way because I'm still not under your authority. You just want to run my ass and shit. That's all it really be. But yeah, at the end of it, that's what it was. So you just don't know the details, you know. And people like to make you seem prideful when you're just not really being prideful. You're just being forward. You're just a man too and shit. You're an older man. I'm a younger man, but we're still both men. A man amongst men. That's a reason that statement comes out. You're a man amongst men. That means you can be in the midst of men and talk and communicate and them not belittle you because you're a real man. You got a good head on your shoulders. You're a man. So yeah, you say something or you have something to say. So when it comes to titles, yeah, a lot of people like to say titles don't matter, which it don't, but it do at the same time. Like if you see a rabbi, there's a greeting for the rabbi. But another way that people throw you off when they try to say titles don't matter is, I've been in this walk for a long time. That's basically throwing your title around. I've been in this walk for a long time. I've been in this walk since 98, or I've been in this walk since whatever, however many years. When you say you've been in the walk for a long, long time, you're basically throwing your title around. But yeah, at the same time, titles don't matter. It doesn't matter if you've been in the walk for a long, long time or what. You could have been T.D. Jakes. You've been a Christian for a long time. You've been Bishop T.D. Jakes for a long time, learning a lot for a long time. But somebody comes through learning the truth for a long amount of time. Okay, he has something to say. It's not about really titles like you said, like, you know, but it still can be. If your title, you stand up to your title. If I say I'm a rabbi and I stand up to my title do matter. So when you come to me, there's a way that you greet a rabbi, you know. Benevolent is he, you know, who raised up Torah teachers. You know, that's what you say when you say a rabbi. Benevolent is the Most High, you know, Elohim, who raised up Torah teachers to teach us Torah. That's what you say when you meet a rabbi. You greet him as such because you need him to teach the ways of the Most High. So you respect the title, and not just the title, but he earned that. But when you belittle somebody, you don't feel like that person has earned anything. He's self-proclaimed or some shit like that. That's how you feeling. He's self-proclaimed or some shit or stuff like that. So then it turns into head knowledge wars and shit. Like, that's what it turned into. Oh, he don't know as much as me and shit. That's what it turned into. But it could just be he's a rabbi. He know what he's talking about. And you just don't like to hear that part. You don't like to hear that because it sounds greater than you or something like that. But it's not really about all that stuff, man. The matter is, it's just people grow up and people watch people grow up. And it's hard for you to accept people like outgrowing you and stuff. It's hard to accept that. Like I said, before I met Aksamak, I was already in the military. I already seen war, already been through war, already been through a lot of bullshit. I already lost soldiers and shit out to sea. Shit was going on already. When I was 19, shit was going on. I survived. Niggas don't know that I would have died, but I survived. You know, it's not for me to tell you the details, but yeah, I survived, my nigga. I was in real war, real military. You know, I drove a real aircraft carrier, CVN-71 Theodore Roosevelt, before I even met Aksamak Tazawal. So I was already being a man, doing man stuff amongst men. A bunch of men on the ship, being a man, doing man stuff. Men listen to what I gotta say if I'm saying what's right to do, and I listen to them, rank and no rank. You know, so I learned how to just dialogue amongst men, and men respect my words. When it came to the Bible, yeah, it could seem funny because I'm still come from a Christian background. I could have been any of those grown ass men coming from a Christian background and just be like, yo, just don't lie to me, my nigga. I'm trusting you not to lie to me. Just don't lie to me. But it just looked funny because I'm already younger than him. But like I said, I earned my respect in the military. So that's just how I carry myself, like a man amongst men. And I dialogue with men like men, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to do that. Learn how to dialogue and grow up and be mature just being in the military around other men, grown ass men. Men that got order, men that run things, men that give authority and shit, you know? And I was given authority. So it's like, you know, I had to be by the captain all the fucking time. Captain talking to me all the time. Like, you can't just chop it up with the captain. Even in boot camp, you just don't chop it up with the captain, but the captain popping up on you, just chopping it up with you and shit. So then you like always around a captain, high ranking officers, and they listen to what you say and shit. So I'm like, dang, so okay. So you just learn how to like dialogue amongst men and shit. Like, this man a whole captain. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? The 4-star rear admiral from the Pentagon come popping up and shit just to chop it up with me. I'm talking to 4-star rear admirals. Of course, I'm 19 years old talking. So it's like, yo, you got a good head on your shoulder. So it's like, yeah, like, so when then I come across somebody named Samak Tazawal that never been in the military, it's like, yeah, I'm respectful and humble as ever, but I have a mission. I'm trying to look for the truth and I'm not playing. So it's like, you could mistake that for my forwardness, for being prideful, and the fact that I had military authority and stuff. You could not know that I had military authority for real, and you could mistake that also for being prideful or try to be ahead of myself, when really I outrank all of y'all in the room because y'all never even been in the military. My nigga, I'm still on the front lines and shit. And this fucking silent ass war that's going on in the military. There's just some secret ass shit going on I can't tell you. You know? So it's like, you can miss that and look at me like, oh, he's just a young guy because of my age. But you never even asked me if I was in the military or what I did and shit. You're not even allowed to know the things like that. So yeah, you can misunderstand me or misjudge me and shit. When the whole time I was like, yo, I got a lot of authority for real, yo. Everything I say, certain people listening to it and shit. You know, and you don't even know that. So it's like they trust me to get, you know, look for what we looking for. So the way I'm talking to you is not just me talking to you like some little ass boy that came off the street and shit with no, you know what I'm saying? That's what you thinking. No, my nigga, I still got authority over y'all random ass, you know, mores and teachers and shit. You know, some of y'all been in the military before. A lot of y'all haven't. Y'all just like, okay, y'all tough, y'all men, y'all aggressive and still masculine. Y'all got some order with yourselves. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really still in a silent ass war, my nigga. Still with authority. Niggas from the Pentagon still listen to me, my nigga. Everybody ain't on evil side. Everybody not who you think they are when you look at them with a uniform on, white, Caucasian or not. You don't know who's who, for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I could walk up on you. You could look at me like, ock you off and shit, and then try to do some shit to me, and then you get fucked up and shit, not knowing that. You know what I'm saying? People, it's like, yo. But that's how it be when you look at age, yo. But when you really get to know brothers and stuff, you can kind of catch on to stuff like that. So then you calm down, like, oh, this brother already got rank over me, right? I really got rank over y'all for real rank over y'all. But then you'll try to like, well, the fucking military don't mean shit for real. Yeah, they fucking motherfuckers protecting your ass to say that shit in the streets and shit. You in the streets of New York, you in the streets of wherever the fuck you at, talking and shit, teaching about the Most High, and ain't nobody run up in this bitch bomb shit yet. So they got some authority, my nigga, calm down. So that's what I'm saying. I'm on the front lines. And so I just came to talk to brothers and shit, trying to find a way of the Most High. It's just a bunch of brothers that just know a lot, you know, and they want you to submit to them. Like, yeah, I can submit to whenever you telling me the truth, but I'm not going to submit to you all the way. Like, I'm a soldier. I have direct orders from certain people that's high ranking. I can't submit myself to you like a little boy for real, but I can't tell you that and shit, so I got to play it stupid and shit. You know, because I'm still young, 19, 20, 21, so it's still looking funny and shit. You know? You look at me, I'll meet you for the first time. I'm like 24 years old. You don't know that I drove an aircraft carrier in the U.S. military and shit. Drove an aircraft carrier. Ain't lose no planes, my nigga. All the planes landed perfectly, my nigga. Ain't lose no planes or nothing. Ain't run over no whales or nothing, my nigga. I obey the ocean laws and all that. The clouds ain't come on me or nothing. The clouds ain't come down. My nigga, we about to, like, my bad. I ain't had to, my bad. I ain't had to do none of that. I'm, you know, being respectful to the laws of the ocean and shit. The angels in the sky, the ocean and stuff. Like, you got to be respectful and all that. So it's like, yeah, always under the captain and shit. Or captain always want, like, yo, that's what I got in my brain. People of rank and authority, they got say so over like military and bomb and shit and just like that, whatever the case. So it's just something to let y'all know. It's not pride, yo. Don't mistake my pride for being forward. Don't mistake me being forward for pride. It's not. Okay? It's a real story. It's real true stuff I've been through. And like I said, you don't know my military history. You can't even get into my military background. The most you're going to get is a DD-214. You ain't get nothing else with that. Let's give these niggas some paperwork to feel some kind of emotions and shit. But these niggas don't know really what the fuck going on. You don't know that when I was in the U.S. Navy, I never had a bad report ever. I never got a bad report in the U.S. Navy. But how did I get pushed out if I never got a bad report? All they did was erased all of my good reports. I never got a bad report ever. Always got good reports. But then they get erased, so you don't know that I got good reports. So that's what I'm saying. You only see a DD-214. You don't see the good reports and the endorsement type stuff I got. They erased it or kept it hidden. So you're never going to find that stuff. Because there's stuff going on. It's the only way you're supposed to catch on is when they said you have no place in this man's Navy. What does that mean? This man's Navy. Who was this man and shit? So you're supposed to catch on to that if you understood already. If you didn't understand, you wouldn't have caught on. You wouldn't understood that. Oh, you wouldn't have said, oh shit. You know, you would have been like, you would have said some dumb shit. Because you're not military, you're a civilian. Whatever the case, man. I just had to let y'all know all of this stuff, man. And before you even met me, before you even say anything, I'm doing stuff, y'all. I've been doing stuff since I was 19, military order stuff. So I'm not just running around here and shit. When you see me, you think I'm just this loose ass guy running around. It just looks like that. But nigga, I was 19 doing shit for the military. And so trying to find a way of the Most High was part of the mission. I did, ran across Oxamactazawar and all kind of stuff, and just had to keep moving on because I got stuff I gotta do, yo. I can't just be sitting, and then you like Nabal and, a many servants, part from their masters and shit. You're not understanding what I'm doing and shit. You think I have no life. I'm just supposed to be sitting under you and shit. But nigga, I got a life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what you just needed to know, but you didn't know. So it sounds funny coming from a young guy. Sorry, that's all it is. It sounds funny coming from a younger guy. It just be like that sometimes, man. So with that said, I want to say shalom. Please don't mistake my forwardness, for frowardness. I'm not froward at all. I'm very humble. So I got chosen for this work, this task in the military, to do this stuff, work for Her Majesty and stuff, because I'm very humble and respectful. I'm obedient as ever. But I'm strong and still a man. That's all it be, yo. I just was younger than y'all. So with that said, shalom.